What's up, man? I want to talk about this Russell Westbrook thing, man. Russell Westbrook is not a point guard. Period. Point blank. A lot of these guys are masquerading as point guards. They're really shooting guards, off guards, and they're masquerading as point guards. But the thing about Russell Westbrook, my fault, that separates him from Damian Lillard, Kyrie Irving, and Steph Curry, and even Kemba Walker. You can throw Kemba Walker in there. Is he can't shoot, man. Russell Westbrook is not a good shooter. This year, he's not only struggled from the field, he struggled from the free throw line. So that when you struggle from the free throw line like that, and you usually a good free throw shooter, that's a mental thing. You know what I'm saying? Russell Westbrook, ever since KD left a couple years ago, Russell Westbrook has been out in the first round. Now, yes, he has averaged a triple double for 3 straight years. You cannot you have to give him credit for that. You know what I'm saying? But that's a regular season, and yes, it takes a lot of athleticism, a lot of determination, and all that stuff to get a lot of rebounds, especially for a guy his size, 6'3". He's probably the best rebounder, 6'3" and under, or 6'4" and under, whatever you want to say, for his size. But the triple doubles are, look, man, stats are great, but stats are more enhanced when you win. You know what I'm saying? Nobody cares if you have a triple double and you lose in the playoffs. Who cares? Who cares about your numbers? It's just a waste of time. It's not a waste of time, but it's like a waste. The numbers are a waste. You know what I'm saying? If you win and you have a triple double, it's great, man. You know what I'm saying? That's the icing on the cake. You know what I'm saying? But Russell Westbrook and the OKC Thunder, man, they're gonna have, first of all, they're gonna have to change coaches. Billy Donovan, he doesn't have enough juice to tell Russell Westbrook what to do. I don't think he has enough juice. They're gonna have to bring a coach in there that has some juice, have some a winning background. Yeah, I know Billy Donovan. He won 2 national titles in Florida. That's when he had Joakim Noah, he had Al Horford, and those guys. But in the NBA, he hasn't won at the highest level as far as winning a title. They're gonna have to bring somebody in there that Russell Westbrook has won a title, got some juice that Russell Westbrook will respect, or somebody he really respects and likes. You know what I'm saying? That has some success, but they may not have won a championship, but Russell Westbrook respects their opinion and will respect them enough for them to coach him, because even if you do that, Russell Westbrook has to be moved off the ball. When they brought Dennis Schroeder in there, I thought Dennis Schroeder was going to start. I was like, oh, okay, they're going to bring Dennis Schroeder in there. He's a traditional point guard. He passes the ball. He can score. He can shoot. But he's a distributor. You know what I'm saying? He passes the ball around. I was like, man, that's good. And they're going to play them together. Even though Russell Westbrook probably is the lead guard and has the ball in his hands, at least Dennis Schroeder can get the ball in his hands, some, and let Russell Westbrook play off the ball, every now and then. But they brought Dennis Schroeder off the bench. Next year they're gonna have to get the ball out of Russell Westbrook's hands, because he's not a smart basketball player. He's not. I'm not gonna say he's not a smart basketball player. He's not cerebral enough when you get in the playoffs to make the right plays at the right time. And he goes 100 miles an hour almost every possession. You cannot go 100 miles an hour on every possession. It wears you down. You only have so many explosive plays in your body. You know what I'm saying? Now, when you're younger, you have a lot. You know what I'm saying? You can go up and down that court all day. Russell Westbrook is 30 years old. He's about 30 years old. He's getting on that other side, you know what I'm saying, that back side of his career. He's on the back nine, in golf terms. He's in the back nine of his career. You don't have a lot of explosive plays as you get in your 30s, as you did in your 20s and your teens. You just don't. It's just the makeup of the body. You're getting older, you know what I'm saying? So your body not as reacted to having a all out hyper game that you had, as far as what your energy level goes down. And I told people a long time ago. I said Russell Westbrook, And somebody made a great you know what I'm saying, a great view of him today. I forgot. I think I was listening to, was it? Oh, it was Bruker. He was on Undisputed, and he said Russell Westbrook is a great athlete that's playing basketball, and that's true because he's so gifted athletic wise with his athleticism. He never got the fundamentals. He never learned the fundamentals of the game and the mental part of the game because he's so gifted that he can just do virtually what he want to do on the court. He can get past anybody he wants to get to on the court. He can get any shot he wants on the court. So he never went through the fundamental part of the game. And as Russell Westbrook slows down, which he's going to slow down, he will have nothing to fall back on because his game is predicated on his speed, quickness, and jumping ability. Period, point blank. And he already struggles from. I remember a couple years ago. I think this is like I'm gonna say around about Russell Westbrook started getting a nice little mid range shot. I'm gonna say around about 2012 or somewhere up in there. And from 2012 to and on to like 2015, it was a nice little pull up jumper he used to have. He used to come at you full speed, but he'll pull up for that 15 footer, that nice little mid range shot, and he'll hit it a lot of times. And last year, I noticed last year it started going down, and this year is just terrible. Like his shooting percentage is I think, the lowest in his career this year, as far as the three, the mid range, you know, your raw field goal percentage and his free throw percentage is all down. But he still averaged a triple double, and people looking at that. People are mesmerized by the triple double. But look at his shooting percentage, y'all. Your shooting percentage has a how many shots it takes you to get a certain amount of points is relative in basketball, especially in basketball, because that means if you're taking 30 shots and you're the point guard and you're the lead guard and you have the ball in your hands at all times, that means you have four other guys looking at you with the ball, looking at you shooting the ball or you dribbling the ball. That's what, and they are not in rhythm. Basketball is a rhythm game. And especially it's a game that you should be sharing the ball because you got four other people out there and you're gonna ask them to go all out, you know what I'm saying, and play defense and do all these things that they need to do, but they're not gonna touch the ball. No, players do better when they feel like they are in sync and feel like they are part of the offense, even if they don't get a lot of shots. People like to touch the ball, man. And Russell Westbrook, he comes down, he dribbles the air out of the ball a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? Then he end up taking the shot, or either he get a lot of empty assists. I know people want, oh, how do he get a lot of empty assists? That's an oxymoron. He gets a lot of assists on this way in this way. If he don't have the shot, then he'll just drop it off. He doesn't get rhythm assists where he'll just come down and make a play for you and the play is made for you. He doesn't do that. He get a lot of his, now he does that every now and then, but most of his assists are, okay, I don't have it. I don't have the shot at the last minute. I'm gonna drop it off. You know what I'm saying, to either Paul George, or I'm gonna drop it off to what's the center name? My guy. I'm gonna drop it off to him. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm gonna drop it off to Jeremy Grant. He doesn't. They don't get the ball in rhythm, so he's not a. Yeah, we all know he's not a true point guard, and that's the reason why they have to take him off the ball next year. They have to take that man off the ball if OKC think they're gonna go somewhere. And I believe the person that's going to tell him that is going to be a guy like Paul George. I think Paul George is going to go to Westbrook and say, "Hey, man, we're gonna have to start Dennis. We gonna have like let Dennis Schroeder be the point guard of this team because he respects Paul George. He respects Paul George and the fact that Paul George re-signed there and stayed with him. And Paul George would have to have that conversation with him because if they don't, next year is gonna be the same thing. They're gonna get knocked out in the first round because Russell Westbrook, he doesn't make enough intelligent basketball decisions. I'm not saying he's not intelligent overall in everyday life. I'm not saying that. I'm saying as far as basketball is concerned, he's not intelligent enough, and he's showing it. He's not intelligent enough to settle a team down. And see, he's too volatile. His his mindset and his personality is just too fiery. You cannot have that in a point guard. A point guard has to calm the situation down, not make the situation. Everything got to be at 100 with Russell Westbrook. You have to bring things down to 50, 60, and 70. And you got to know when to go to 100. He don't know how to do that yet. He has not figured that out yet. And this is his what? This is Russell Westbrook what, 10th, 11th year season? Maybe it's too late for him to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you get to a stage where you're stuck in your ways. It's hard for you to change. It's hard for you to figure things out, or it's hard for you to change things up. But Paul George is gonna have to go to this man and say, Russ, you're gonna have to give a lot of ball duties to Dennis Schroeder. They will be a much better team if they let now if it's crunch time and it's like 3 minutes to go and you want to give Russell the ball and tell Russell, do your thing. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind that because Russell Westbrook, he can get any shot he want. You know what I'm saying? So and then he can pass. You know what I'm saying? So he can make shot plays for other people. But for the full amount of the game, get the ball out that man's hands. Is not. He's not that guy, and he has proven it. He has had time to show us, plenty of times to show us that he's that guy. He's proven that he's not that guy. In the regular season, it works for OKC. But once you get in the playoffs and teams game plan for your weakness, that's what the playoffs is about. Game planning for your weakness. And when you game plan for Russell Westbrook, you know he's gonna go 100 miles an hour. He's gonna try to do everything on his own. He's gonna try to put the whole team on his shoulders, and he's going to make a lot of mistakes. Dame Lillard outplay him. I always thought Damian Lillard was a better player than Russell Westbrook. I always thought because Damian Lillard can shoot the ball. He's a better leader than Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook is not a leader. Your leader cannot be that that volatile. That he can't raise the temperature in the room like that. Your leader's supposed to calm things down. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying your leader has to be perfect, but he cannot. In situations of hectic, when everything is hectic and everything is going haywire, you have to have a leader in the room to say, "Okay, guys, we're gonna do it this way. We got it. Everybody, calm down. I have a plan." He doesn't know how to do that, man. And then you see him, uh, after games, you have to sit down, win, lose, or draw. You have to talk to the media, and the man is just so dismissive of the media. It's like, come on, man. Like you have other teammates on your team. You have younger guys on your team. If you win and if you lose, you have to sit down and answer the questions, man. Sit down, answer the questions, and then get up and leave. Don't be there and be surly and just be dismissive of guys that's asking you legitimate questions. They ask you legitimate questions of what happened in the basketball game. I, I have not yet heard a question that was like out of bounds or one of them obvious questions. I heard this like questions like, "Hey, look, this one reporter asked Russell Westbrook, hey, y'all was doing good on Damian Lillard for the first 3 quarters. What happened in the last quarter?" He's saying next question. You know what I'm saying? Like stupid stuff like that. And another thing, Russell Westbrook should be a better defender than what he is. This man has all them gifts as an athlete. He can jump. He's strong. He's fast. He's quick, and he's like a terrible defensive player. He has all those attributes. He got long arms. He's tall for his position at point guard, and he has all those gifts. And he's a below average defender, man. He's not even an average defender. Like the like I like I told y'all about fundamentals. He has not learned the fundamentals because he was such a gifted athlete that a lot of them just what I'm saying, they leap steps and they go from step 1 to step 10 and they miss everything in between. He missed everything in between because he was a great athlete. And OKC is stuck with him. He signed that big contract at 200. I believe he signed at 200. I think it was 260 million, something like that. Some crazy number. So they stuck with him for the next 4 years. So hopefully, they can go to him, sit him down, especially Paul George, and say, man, look, just move off the ball. I think the team will run better under Dennis Schroeder. The team will run better under him, and we can be more successful. And if Russell Westbrook don't want to do it that way, and then, man, Paul George signed a contract too, but hey, I'd be like, man, y'all got to get me out of here. This man ain't gonna change, and we can't do it. You can't keep doing it this way. You can't keep going out in the first round. Like, come on, man. And this series, I mean, it was some close games, but they beat y'all 4-1. The Blazers, who themselves, that same team that they got swept out the playoffs last year against New Orleans, and they come back and almost sweep y'all the next year. Like, that's not good. But let me know what y'all think, man. Should Russell Westbrook move off the ball? I believe he should move off the ball.